I received the divorce papers by email while I was still stationed in the desert. 13 years of marriage reduced to a PDF file. My name's Nathan, 42 years old, a staff sergeant with the 82nd Airborne. I'd been deployed in Kandahar for 4 months when Becky decided she'd waited long enough. The subject line read, "Let's be adults about this." The message was short and final. She'd already filed for divorce. She'd already emptied our joint account. She'd already moved her new boyfriend, Jeremy, into our house in Spokane. I read the email twice, closed my laptop, took a shower in the communal stall, got dressed for my shift, and said nothing to anyone. When I returned to my bunk that night, I replied with a single word, "Understood." That was it. No arguing, no begging, no threats. Wilson, my bunkmate, noticed something was off. "You good, man?" he asked, not looking up from his book. "Yeah," I replied. "Just some stuff back home." He nodded, and that was the end of it. Military guys know when to leave things alone. Honestly, I wasn't surprised. 6 months before deployment, things had changed. Small things. Becky stopped asking about my day. She started working late at the dental office where she answered phones. She hit the gym 3 times a week, but never seemed to break a sweat. New clothes, new friends I never met, new passwords on her phone. I didn't confront her. That's not who I am. But I wasn't blind either, so I made quiet moves of my own. Nothing dramatic, just precautions. I secured important documents in a storage unit across town. Birth certificates, marriage license, house deed. Thanks to the VA loan, it was in my name. Military benefits paperwork, my grandfather's watch, my mom's old silver. Things that mattered. I also opened a new account at a different bank and started diverting a small portion of my pay there. Nothing too obvious, just enough to ensure I wouldn't be starting from scratch if things fell apart. The night before I deployed, she hugged me at the airport and said, "Stay safe, okay?" Her eyes were dry, as if she was saying goodbye to a coworker, not a husband heading to war. I should have known then, but part of me still hoped I was wrong. I wasn't. What she didn't know was that I had prepared for this moment. And what she didn't understand was that while I never start fights, I do finish them. I met Becky in 2010 at a friend's barbecue in Spokane. I was home between tours staying with my buddy Jason. Becky was finishing nursing school but ended up working as admin at a dental practice instead. She said it was less stressful. We were married 8 months later. Becky used to say she was proud of my service, though she never really understood it. Her dad was a bank manager, and her brother was a pharmacist. No military in her family. She'd ask when I was going to get a real job, not realizing that after 15 years, the Army was my career. We bought a house in 2014, a small one, but it was ours. 3 bedrooms, a small yard, and a quiet neighborhood. My name was the only one on the mortgage, but I added her to the deed because that's what married people do. Share things. My parents both passed away a year after we married. My dad from a heart attack, and my mom from lung cancer, though she never smoked a day in her life. They left me some money, enough to pay off Becky's student loans and still have a cushion. I deployed 4 times during our marriage, twice to Iraq, twice to Afghanistan. Each time I came home, Becky seemed a little more distant, a little more restless, like she was playing a role she'd outgrown. She told me once, "I didn't sign up to be a military wife. I'm tired of being alone all the time." I understood that. I did. But the Army was the only place I'd ever felt like I truly belonged. I was good at my job. People depended on me. In 2019, things started to change. Small stuff at first. Becky became irritated when I called during her girls' nights. She talked about how her friend Melissa had divorced her husband and was living her best life. She started making comments about how we didn't have anything in common anymore. I suggested counseling. She said we were fine, just going through a phase. Then came the late nights at work, weekends away with friends I never met, new clothes, and a gym membership she rarely used. I should have confronted her, but that's not how I handle things. Never have. My dad taught me to think before I speak, and to be sure before I act. So I watched, and I prepared quietly. My gut told me something was coming, and in this life you learn to trust your gut. 2 weeks after the divorce email, I was sitting in the mess hall when my phone buzzed. A notification from our bank app, another withdrawal, $8,500, almost everything that was left. I opened the app. The joint account balance was down to $212.37. Our savings, $47,000, was gone, transferred to an account I didn't recognize. Murphy, one of the guys from my unit, glanced over.